Today we are going to try some indoor bowling. So a couple things that you can grab around your house. So what I had was some bottles. This was from bottle of water, empty. Some cans of pop. So I've set up two areas with pins today. One with bottles, one with cans. You can use anything around the house really. That's just what I happen to have. And in terms of marking them, you can probably see there's a green piece of tape that I put on the floor. So I recommend something like masking tape or painter's tape, something that is going to show you where you can set your pins back up, but isn't going to be really sticky on your floor. So I wouldn't recommend using duct tape or anything like that, especially if you have a carpeted area or on your kitchen floor. Something that's not going to stick. You don't need tape. I just figured it would be easier to kind of set them back up. In terms of some different equipment, I have a wiffle ball, tennis ball, softball, little soft smiley face ball, even balled up socks can be used if you don't have anything like this at home, but it's really up to you. And in terms of scoring, if you wanted to keep score and see how you're doing, I printed off a little bowling score sheet. So this was just online I typed in bowling score sheet. I put my name, and in a regular game of bowling, typically there's 10 little areas that you're going to roll the ball 3 times and mark down your score in each of those sections, okay? Depending on how old you are or if you've bowled before, you can play around with that a little bit. Lower elementary students, if you just want to take one ball and take a roll and see how many you knock down, you could just write down that one throw if you wanted to. If you are middle elementary, maybe take 2 throws. And if you want to work on what an actual game of bowling would look like, and you're upper elementary or anybody, whoever would like to, you could try the 3 rolls. So I'm gonna start on my set of cans, maybe with 1 roll, just to show you what that would be like. And I'll show you with the cans and with the bottles. Remember, if you're just starting out, you might want to be a little bit closer like I am with the cans. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit, you can go with further away, kind of where I have the bottles set up, okay? So let's give this a try. I remember, the bigger the ball, the more likely you are to have success in this situation. So the larger the ball, the more likely I am to hit something. The smaller, the more difficult. So once again, depending on if you want to challenge yourself or if you've bowled before, you might want to try something smaller, but really it's up to you. We'll try with the tennis ball first, okay? So if I'm going for the cans, I'm gonna line up. Hopefully you can still see. I'm getting my tennis ball ready. One hand. Okay, so if I go take a look, I have 4 cans still up. I started with 10, but obviously depending on how many pins you have, you can set up as many or as few that you'd like. Where I had 10, so 10, and I had 4 remaining, which means I knocked down 6. So maybe I'll write 6 in that particular one, okay? You could now set them back up, or you can take 1 or 2 more rolls. So maybe I'll take a different type of ball here. I'll take my smiley face, see if I can knock any more down. Nope, no more down there on my second throw. So maybe this time I'll just it's still a 6. I didn't knock any more down. Maybe this time to get them, I'll go with the heavier, bigger softball. And now they're all down. So I started with 10, now all 10 are down. So really, I just knocked 4 more down So I could put a little 4 kind of in the top there and write my 10. So that'd be for my cans, okay? So I'm gonna move those out of the way and show you the bottles now. Oh, missed my tennis ball. So now, if I was starting a new round, I'll write my name down. And this time I'm gonna do my 3 throws. And they're gonna add up in one particular box. And if you've bowled before, if you've heard the terms a spare or a strike, it's referring to how many throws it took you to knock down all of the 10 pins. And if you went bowling around here, probably 10 pins. And bowling balls that are the same size. There is 5-pin bowling with bigger balls. We used to have some around here, typically harder to find, more in the States. So basically, if you knock down all of the pins in one throw, that would be a strike. If you knock all the pins down in 2 throws, that would be a spare. And if you knock them all down in your 3 throws, you basically be able to score your 10 on your card, okay? So we'll try to show you what that's like if I can get a spare or a strike. We'll start with our tennis ball again. So missed on my first one. Maybe I'll try my wiffle ball this time. Get my tennis ball out of the way. So it looks like there's 3 left, which means I knocked 7 over on my second throw. For my third throw, maybe I'll take my happy face ball and knock them all down. So that would be on my scorecard a 10 for my first one, okay? Now, you can just use a piece of scrap paper or anything if you want to write them down. You don't even have to write them down if you don't want to. If you have any family members around the house, you can try playing against somebody, play around with your distances, play around with what you use for pins, different type of balls that you use. But that would be kind of an introduction to bowling. I hope you have fun.